Okay, this video is for lesson 12 in the repl.it assignments. Update your riddles with string.capwords. So on the last lesson we learned what the string.capwords function does. It just uppercases the first letter in each word and it lowercases the rest of the word. And so now we get to use that function to decrease the amount of code that we have. That function is going to help us make this more efficient. So for example, let me just go over here and look at this. First of all, if you guys were to run this, it runs just fine. And it runs, there are no errors and it works fine. But we want to shrink down the code, make it fewer lines of code, but yet still being able to do the same thing. See, the user, when they're running it and they're looking in this window, they don't know what the code is behind the scenes. But we as programmers, we want this to be efficient and not to have extra code that we don't need. So what we can do is, let's first import the string function. Can't forget that, because remember, any code that we're pulling, in this case string.capwords, anything with the dot notation, that's the module that needs to be imported. So there we are, we import that guy. And now what we can do, just like the example down here does, we can use that string input. And we're going to type in string.capwords, and then oops, I have to put the parenthesis. So now, whatever the user inputs, the user types in, it automatically gets capworded, meaning the first letter of each word goes up. So now, if they were to type in a pillow, for this one the answer is a pillow, if they typed in a pillow and they typed it in with lowercase, this automatically uppercases the A and the P. So I'm going to look at my answers down here, these elif statements. Do I need this one anymore? No, don't need that one. So that just got rid of that one. Now what about this one? Ooh, if they type in a pillow, excuse me, if they type in just pillow, it'll uppercase the first letter. So we still need that one, but we don't need this one because that's lowercase. Okay, so we got rid of two of the lines. We still have two. But now I want to show you a new thing. In these if statements, we can use the or command. And we could say or, and I'm just going to go ahead and copy this guy. And Control C, Control V, and now I can get rid of this line. So we're trying to make this more efficient. So we don't even need any elif statements. So let's read through the logic here. If the answer that the user typed in up here is equal to a pillow with uppercase A, uppercase P, because the string.capwords uppercased it, or if the answer is equal to pillow, so if the user just typed in pillow, it's going to work. You got it. Here's another. And so now if they didn't type that in, either of those two options, then it prints out the correct answer is pillow. So it still operates exactly the same way as it did before I made any changes. When I first opened this up, it had 4 different elif statements. Now I got rid of all of those, and it's doing all of that with just one if statement, the equivalent of all 4. So this is what I mean by making the code more efficient. We're shrinking down the actual code, but it's doing the same thing by using our tools. All right. Now I'm not going to do the next ones. The next ones are your job. You need to modify these guys. Look at all these elifs. You should be able to get, on this one it's only one elif. You should be able to get rid of that one by doing what I did. And down here we've got, you should be able to get rid of all 3 of these elifs by doing what I did up here. And then test it, make sure it's working, and then you can submit.